Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Going Dark podcast. And I believe this is episode 17. I just looked it up and I already forgot. But Chop, how we feeling? We got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah. No, it's been a couple weeks, guys. We've been seeing the comments. Listen, when y'all want a Going Dark episode, we know, we hear you. We can't always, make one right on the fly, but we try our best. But also, we kind of waited a little longer for this one because a lot happened, and we figured it would be best to let everything occur at once and then just do a big episode covering, everything. And in between the time of our last podcast and now, we have played Black Ops 6 Zombies. Or yeah, I went to Treyarch, I got hands-on with the game, and that gives us we could make 4 podcasts on that whole thing. But we want to condense it and keep it, nice and simple and fresh and just give you all everything you need to know.
Yeah, I want to interrupt you and say, again, I've been doing a couple streams lately. People have been going, where's the podcast? And I knew we couldn't do the podcast because Chop was doing some stuff that was under, it was under the table. It was NDA'd. So I was like, we just wait a little bit. We'll be back and we'll be better than ever. So listen, we're back to our regular scheduled program. This one is action packed. I mean, boom, 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 boom. So here's what we'll do. I think you just start us off with the meat and potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
You get invited to Treyarch, play Black Ops 6 early. Zombies. Fill us in.
Yeah.
Fill us in.
This is the first time. So I've been like a Call of Duty YouTuber since like Advanced Warfare, pretty much. Like that's when I was making real videos and whatnot. But I've been in the community for a long time, and with these kind of early capture events, up to this point there has never been an early capture event that was primarily focused on Zombies gameplay before the game launched. The only exception was Zombie Chronicles. There was like an event for that, but otherwise, like Zombies has always been, under the table, more, hush hush. They're very tight-lipped about gameplay and seeing the mode and everything until the game releases. That was kind of the aura around Zombies in a way, but for BO6 they completely threw that out. And yeah, I got to play the game early last week, or I guess closer to 2 weeks ago now. And we played one of the 2 maps. So as you guys know, there are 2 maps that will be launching with BO6, Liberty Falls and Terminus. I thought that we were going to be playing Liberty Falls because I would have assumed that would have been the more like simple map. But we actually played Terminus instead. And we learned a lot about what that map does and what it's going for, and a lot of big changes coming to Zombies, just like the mode in general.
Yeah.
But the big thing that is a key takeaway, and you can tell me what you think about this. They told us during the presentation, and I made a video about this as well, so people who have seen my video have probably heard this, but they told us during the thing that their inspirations for the game were Black Ops Cold War and Black Ops 3. So it's like, that's good. That's cooking right there. I mean, I know you're a big BO3 enjoyer, I think it's one of the better zombie games, and I would just assume that a lot of people would be happy to hear that news.
I, as a casual, like I've told you, Cold War, one of my favorite zombies in a long time. And I like that they're taking that approach. Black Ops 3, I mean, obviously one of the greatest. I do quickly, I'm looking at Charlie Intel, and I don't know if we're going too far where you want to talk about, but I did see the UI for Zombies.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm in love with that.
Okay, sure. No, that's a good point. I was something that I wanted to talk about. So the UI, weirdly enough, in the gameplay that they gave us to put on YouTube, there was no HUD at all. I don't know why they did that, but I mean, the game looks good without a HUD, but that's not how it actually is.
Right.
The HUD, in reality, is like your perk icons are almost identical to Cold War. Like there's virtually no difference. But then the player point and icon where the name is, that looks more like Modern Warfare 3. Just as far as like the style and the armor and whatnot, almost identical. The Gobblegum is a little bit smaller off to the right side and kind of looks like a multiplayer score streak thing, because you can hold
Yeah.
multiple gobblegum now.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this in regards to the HUD, there is the whole thing of like it's customizable. So, you can put elements of the HUD like more or less wherever you want. Um, and that's fine. But I also had a conversation with them at Treyarch. Like, I think the complaint for people, not a complaint, but a concern is like, or a charm, really, the way I put it, is one of the best things about like many of the older maps and games, like particularly BO3. You'll think about like when you load up Shadows of Evil, the HUD on that and the icons are specifically made, for that map.
Yeah.
With one exception, I'll get to, but like compared like Shadows to the Giant, the HUDs and like color palettes are totally different. And I talked to them about that. They didn't hate that idea. Sounds like, and I said, like, God forbid this ever becomes a microtransaction, but I'm like, if you literally made it like, a pack that you could buy, like you buy the BO3 HUD, I bet you people would pay for it. People, meaning me.
Uh,
I'm not saying they should do that.
yeah.
I'm
You're
not
about to get
advocating for
yourself
making it.
canceled.
No, I know, but like that, but you know what I mean is like people want a unique and charming HUD that much
Yeah.
that I'm sure people would be willing to pay for it in some cases. And of course that would only affect your own game, so it doesn't like change anything
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
gameplay. But I told them like, why not? Like y'all could just make presets of the older games HUDs into this game. Like imagine like a BO1 preset. You get like
Oh,
the
yeah.
font of like the bullets and that tiny little like blood splatter in the bottom right corner.
The BO1's probably my favorite, if I'm being honest.
It's good, man.
It's
That's a
clean.
good one. Hmm.
But I've seen little small things, and I think that what bugs me is, you know, obviously what I've seen from the game so far, I love, but there's the little small things that I think make it that great experience, and you don't even really think about them until you see them, and it's like you said, with having that Modern Warfare 3-ish, Warzone-ish, multiplayer-ish bottom left, I'm just like, can we just leave that in the past? Like it didn't like it didn't exist. Let's move on to the Black Ops 6 era and just be a fresh start. But I don't know if they
Or just style it in a way that looks more zombies, right? Like you could have the player name and even the
like
armor
red
system,
or
but like
something, or
yeah, make it red or just do something to make it look because it just looks like the Warzone like HUD.
it looks. I'm looking at it
And
right now. It looks exactly like Warzone. And
yeah,
I think for me, the one thing that made the old game so good was everything was unique. Multiplayer was different. Zombies was different. Campaign was different. And I just like that feeling of, okay, I'm in a new mode, but also the question is, are they now doing that because for the new player that gets it on Game Pass, do they want it to be very similar where it's like, oh, okay, my HUD's down here, my grenades down here, my mini maps over here, everything's very similar. They're taking care of the noob out there, which to me is still crazy that people haven't played Call of Duty. It's like, have you not played one that you need all this like babying to like figure out where my stuff is? But maybe I'm just so in deep that it just I don't think about
I know
it.
we have a different perspective just because of the bubble that we're in for
Yeah.
sure. Like we think it's absurd that somebody has never even like encountered a Call of Duty game
Right.
before.
Right.
I will say their goal explicitly in this mode is to make it accessible for new players.
Yeah.
That is like what they're going for. Now, with that in mind, I, had questions about that. And this is something I talked to Treyarch about. I was like, okay, I'm perfectly all for having a very accessible mode. I love that. That's great. I think everybody should feel welcome and be able to play zombies in some capacity. But what really makes a game special is if you have that ease of accessibility where anybody can pick up and play, but at its core, it's a very difficult game to master. And I think if it retains that depth alongside being accessible, then they have what I consider to probably be a winning formula. I think BO3 is probably the best example of that.
Yeah.
So they, in regards to making the game more accessible, this is something we can talk about. The big change with Easter eggs is that when a map launches, they haven't told us exactly how long this period of time will be, but for a window of time, it will just be the map. You got to go in and like figure out the Easter egg your damn self. There's no hints like other than how to get Pack-a-Punch, but it's a hardcore Easter egg,
Yeah.
relatively speaking. They've said they're more difficult than the Cold War ones, which is, for people that thought the Cold War Easter eggs were too easy. After a couple of weeks, presumably, they are going to add a guided mode, and this will literally just walk you through the Easter egg, to a point where it even like will cap the rounds until
Yeah.
you do a step. So they're making, because like I was talking to Kevin Drew about this, and he was saying that the proportion of people that complete an Easter egg in modern day is still astronomically low. Like even Cold War Easter eggs, which are generally looked at as a lot easier,
Mm-hmm.
according to him, their completion rates are not what they want it to be. That's what they've told me. And with this kind of guided mode, they're looking to raise that completion percentage as much as they
Yeah.
can. That's
Yeah.
what they said.
I mean,
So
I feel like that's almost good for you in a way, where it's like, I know part of your content and part of other people's content is like sharing Easter eggs, how to do them. But I feel like maybe it gets you interested in, if you, for me, doing that one Easter egg we did back on Black Ops 2, I've never done an Easter egg before. That was the first one I've ever done in 15 years, 20 years of Call of Duty. And after I did it, I'm like, holy crap, I kind of want to dive in, but I'm just so far gone. I'm so far out of it that I'm just like, well, that might be a little too much work. So personally, I don't mind the guided area. I think for me, I like to do, I want to do them. And if I had a little help, I'm not gonna lie, I would enjoy it.
Yeah, so that is almost verbatim what they said as far as like their goal. They want to raise the amount of people that are completing them. And I, brought up the counterpoint that I'm like, I think the only downside to this guided mode is the fact that it kind of, in a way, kills Easter egg guides.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah.
For a lot of people, that's like their content. I think Easter egg guides will be relevant for the first couple of weeks and maybe less so as it goes on. But the other important thing to consider is that the guided mode is only for the main quest. Everything else is disabled in that. So you can't get a guided mode for like all the other secrets. Like you have to play standard mode for cool side Easter eggs and whatnot. But for the main quest, that's what the guided mode does. So there will be guides for side quest and whatnot. But I think as far as like a main Easter egg, you wait long enough, you'll be able to do all of them just through the guided mode. I feel like I don't know exactly where I stand on this yet. I think,
I mean, you're the guy that it's like affecting pretty much.
Yeah, it's tricky because like on one hand, I really do like the idea of, okay, but here's a contradiction, and you can tell me what you think about this. It's kind of what you talked about with the Mob of the Dead thing. Like, okay, the whole idea of Treyarch is to get, and this is their words, not mine. They told me they want to get. I said, realistically, how many people do you want completing Easter eggs? Because your numbers aren't high enough according to you, so you want to raise that. And they're like, as much as we can. So I would imagine if they could have it their way, they'd have like 80-90% of people completing an Easter egg,
exactly.
all players, right? But then that kind of begs the question: is it even an Easter egg anymore? You know what I mean? Like, if the whole idea
if it's given to you.
Yeah, like if the whole idea was that an Easter egg was like, you would play a zombies map and just enjoy it for what it was, for the survival, the atmosphere, the gameplay, and whatnot. But it had this like quest kind of buried underneath that was, okay, if you're hardcore enough to know about this thing, that's what makes it an Easter egg. And maybe they've changed the terminology more to main quest, fair enough. But like, I think you kind of get my point where it's a bit paradoxical.
I totally agree, yeah.
Like, you can't raise the bar on completions for Easter eggs, because then it's no longer really an Easter egg because everybody knows about it and has done it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's strange. But I get what they're going for.
Yeah, it's kind of like I'm on the noob side on this one, where I'm just like I'm kind of into it, but I definitely see your side of like, all right, well, this is not really an Easter egg anymore because you're literally giving them step-by-step instructions. There was Easter eggs that were just found recently, right, in some of these zombies maps. So I do think that's kind of cool to have that, and like, oh wow, this was discovered 10 years later. and I guess that really won't be the case anymore. Or maybe
That'll
there will
that
be
will still
some that
exist
they haven't told
for
us.
yeah, that'll still exist for like side quests. For
Yeah,
all of the side Easter eggs, that'll exist. But like the main quest
they're
is
giving it
no
away.
longer yeah, it's no longer even an Easter egg really. At that point. But yeah, the guided mode is somewhat controversial. I do think it's I guess overall a positive. We'll have to see how it plays out. But yeah, that is like one that I've definitely seen some contention on.
Yeah. Um, I'm just kind of scrolling through Charlie Intel a little bit, but I want to
Mhm.
stay
Yeah.
on the zombies aspect because
Yeah, yeah.
I actually got roasted the other day for posting a video. I reacted to the boat being in the map, and I
Mhm.
I, I dropped the line of this was the first um, vehicle in zombies, and what I meant by that was, well, I get because you can't really say all this in a 10-second short, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's the first controlled vehicle in round-based zombies, and I'm correct in that, right?
What
So,
okay, the only thing I can think of was that Cold War Outbreak gave you
so
vehicles.
people said
Um,
Outbreak, and people
yeah.
said the bus from Black Ops 2, and I said Black
You
Ops 2,
can't
you
control
just
that.
it was a circle, like it
It was just a
wasn't.
moving thing that you
Yeah,
got on.
you
It
weren't
wasn't a
doing that,
controllable
so
vehicle. Yeah.
I kind of
I get your
pushed
I get
back a
your
little bit,
point.
but
Yeah, I get
I
your point.
I just wanted to say I really like that aspect of adding that into the game. I don't know why it takes it to another step where it's not crazy, but it's still you're moving around a little bit, and I don't know. I really like that being a round based zombies map, and you still can kind of have a little, I don't know,
Mhm.
flexibility to move around a bit, if that makes sense.
Well, the thing that's interesting is that compared to old zombies, like I can kind of almost visualize this is like the walls and boxes have really fallen off the game in a
Yeah,
way where
yeah,
like in I don't know, in something like Verupt, you can't like jump into the like central courtyard, off the thing. Like you're very boxed into the level design in a lot
yeah,
of like
yeah.
Mob of the Dead. You know what I mean? Like you can't like jump in between like the cell levels and whatnot. Like it's like you kind of could now, where in like D Machine you can jump over railings. You can move a lot more freely. And that's kind of the case now with the way the boat works. Like when we played it, I was kind of confused because I'm like, could I just sit in a boat and just
Yeah.
like not have to deal with zombies? But one of the hallmarks of zombies gameplay has always been, you really can't be still for too long, otherwise you're just gonna die. That is still the case in this game. If you wait too long in the boat, like things are gonna come after you.
Right, right, right.
So like the big tentacle, like will try to eviscerate you. So like you're not safe in that, but it does kind of let the box fall open a little bit in terms of where you can go and what you can do. The map has a lot of open water. Like they've said, this is the biggest round based map they've ever made. And I don't doubt that, like square footage wise,
Yeah.
but I think most of that is just open water. Like the actual
Yeah,
playable
yeah.
landscape, if I had to like estimate, I would say it's probably like, mm, mm, this might be a rough estimate, but like maybe the size of like Zetsubo on Black Ops 3.
Okay.
Uh, if I, not including the water.
Yeah.
There are multiple like tiny little islands around the main one as well, which like in our game session didn't really do anything. I imagine not even I imagine, I know they'll be part of the main Easter egg, but they didn't have much to do there when we played. So one of the things I did notice in regards to like the really open map and the water and being able to control the boat, is that it did kind of do weird things to like the pacing of our game.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like I would know there's a last zombie somewhere just around, but no one can find it. That's probably like
I
that's something they can fix. That's not like a problem with the boat or anything, but uh the the free flowing nature of how you can move around kind of did weird things to like the enemy tracking, and I'm sure that's something they're working on. But
I
uh
I feel like
no,
I
go ahead.
heard that from somewhere.
Hmm.
Maybe it was in your video or something.
Yeah.
Maybe that I can't remember. I
I,
had remembered being like it was somebody's gameplay where they're like, where's the last zombie at? Where is the zombie at? I can't
yeah.
remember who that was.
And it was I was so in my session I was playing with Codename Pizza, and him and we've been playing zombies together for years, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
literally like the millisecond that zombies weren't being killed, he's going, "Where's the last zombie? Who has the last zombie?
Yeah,
Like, kill it."
yeah.
um, and there would be moments where like I don't know, 3 to 4 minutes would go by and nobody could find a zombie, and like the game just went to like a dead halt. And I wasn't the only one that had that issue. Like pretty much everyone that I talked to across like their multiple game sessions reported that too. But again, that's fixable, I think. Um, I
Yeah, it's
my
almost like you
point.
just get the zombie to spawn. Like if you get so far away from it, there were zombies that did that before, right? Like if you get
Yeah,
far
yeah,
away from, all of a sudden it's magically behind you, and you're like, wait a second, I thought it was all the
that's
way over
how
there.
that's how BO3 works.
Okay.
You get far enough away, but the key thing is this is where BO4 messed up. On BO3, they had to always spawn in behind you. Like a zombie cannot spawn in front of you. They changed that in BO4, which is not a good idea.
Yeah.
But in BO6, I don't know exactly how they have it programmed, but because the map is so open-ended, I feel like the zombie could just appear from anywhere. And that was the only thing as far as like pacing that I had an issue with, but otherwise like the gameplay feels fundamentally very Cold War. Uh in terms of how weapons feel,
Yeah.
shooting zombies, and of course like the system of upgrading your weapon. Of course, you can pack a punch like you do at the normal thing, but there's no menu anymore. You literally just upgrade it, and you apply alternate ammo types at the arsenal station instead.
Okay.
And there's a new one because like in Cold War you have like your cryo freeze, dead wire, blast furnace, turned or brain rot, whatever it was, and they have a new one called Shadow Rift. It's like think of the Gersh device effect, like that kind of black hole, but it comes from your weapon. That dude, it was really good.
Okay.
I was using that like the whole time I was playing, and there are different types of enemies that are particularly weak to shadow bullets. So it's kind of about like finding the right element for the right job, and I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, when it comes to like perks, this is something we can talk about too with the acquisitions. I'll get to that. But weirdly enough, when it comes to perks, there was no mule kick, and there was one more from Cold War that I
That
didn't see either.
okay.
I'm trying to remember which one it
Mule
was.
kick's kind of a iconic one, right? I mean, I remember Mule Kick
Yeah.
from way back.
And they had mule kick in Cold War, and it had a really cool effect. I don't know if you remember this, but when you upgraded mule kick, it had not only did it let you carry 3 guns, but it allowed you to pick up like ammo drops off the ground,
Okay.
and it had the chance to like not consume your throwable when using it. So it was pretty good, but there was no mule kick, and also there was no death perception.
Okay.
I don't know why. Maybe they're reworking those functions into the acquisitions. I'll briefly touch on that really quick. So we didn't get to use the acquisitions. Or I'm sorry, I'm talking about, that's MW3, not acquisitions. I'm sorry, augments. Let me correct myself there. We did not get to use any of the perk augments, but the augment system works for all of your perks and your field upgrades. And you are able to select one major and one minor augment change. So take like Juggernog, for example. I believe one of the augments for that is like a major augment is it has the effect of Dying Wish from BO4, which means like if you take a fatal hit, it'll give you like a sort of like a get out of jail free card. Like it'll just take you down to 1 health and then prevent you from dying just that one time. So Jug can have the effect of Dying Wish as a major augment, and then the minor augments are like little stat changes.
Yeah.
Maybe Jug gives you like, I don't know, 50 more HP or something along those lines. The whole idea with this augment system is they really like the idea of build crafting right now in zombies, and for better or for worse, that's what they're going for. But the perk system has been very much changed from Cold War, which just had like straight up like skill trees, which I wasn't a big fan of. But we didn't get to personally play with the augments, which I wish we could, but unfortunately we just weren't allowed.
I'm so sorry. I'm a little bit distracted. I need to tell you this.
Mhm, mhm.
So I got to do a quick 180.
Yeah, no,
Um
go for it.
there's an H2 mod, and this is mod is to play Modern Warfare 2 remastered. So summary, a group of people just made this crazy mod that got tied into Modern Warfare Remastered on PC, and they called it the H2 multiplayer mod. Um, and I was just talking to Chop before we got online about this. He was gonna, buy MWR, and we're gonna download it tomorrow when it goes live. They have just put out a tweet today. Our team members received a cease and desist order on behalf of Activision, and they have to shut down all operations immediately.
Oh my god.
Um, I
Wow.
I would like to give my first initial opinion on this. And with this title, this podcast probably just changed, honestly, to they shut down MW2 remastered.
They killed MW2
They
Remaster.
killed MW. Call of Duty just killed.
All right, looks like gotta get a Steam refund.
Yeah, Steam refund that while I'm talking. And we need to get a thumbnail done right away. We
Oh
get
my
a
god.
thumbnail switch. So this is a breaking
So
news.
what do you think?
So I'm about to tweet. I'm about to reply right now. Not gonna lie, this makes me really sad. I was hoping to be able to grind MW2R and Black Ops 6 all year. Um, I to me, number one, Call of Duty. These mod projects, I just don't see them as being like something that is really going to take the attention off of Black Ops 6. I know this is why they did this, because there was tweets on the multiplayer side of things of the H2 mod. They were getting more likes than the Black Ops 6 stuff. I don't know if you saw that, but it was like
Yeah.
no scopes and like all this other stuff was getting more attention than the new game. And I know, Activision sees that. I just think with these mods, they aren't powerful enough to they're not going to affect Black Ops 6 bottom line. I really don't think that. Sure, there might be more people that play that and build content and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, there's so many people that are going to be playing Black Ops 6. And to me, here's how I thought of it. Play Black Ops 6 when I get kind of tired of the Omni movement. Go play a little H2 mod for fun, just like I do with Plutonium. Like, I don't play Plutonium every day. Like, it's something that's just fun to pick up every once in a while. Cool mod project, but it's not.
Okay, so my question is like,
It's never replacing Modern Warfare 3. I still play Modern Warfare 3 more.
So here's what I want to know from you, like what you think. I remember when IW4X got a cease and desist. Like that had, I believe, original Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. I think AW and maybe Ghost or something like that. And that got a C&D like last year or maybe like a year and a half ago, something like that. But that got taken down. If I'm not mistaken, there's a different version of it that it's basically IW4X that is still up. I'm not sure, but I know that got taken down. My question is, why did that get taken down and not Plutonium? Like, how is I'm not saying they should take it down. God,
Yeah.
we need Plutonium.
Yeah.
But how is Plutonium still around? If because I remember on my what was it? SM2 got taken down. That was like the like COD amalgamation of everything kind of thing. SM2 got taken down. IW4X got taken down. The boy client for BO3 got taken down. How has Plutonium not been taken down? Like, what's the where? Maybe someone can enlighten me on this, but why has that managed to? Are they like complying with Activision in some way? Like, I'm just curious. I'm out of just sheer curiosity. I would just love to know why Plutonium exists still and these ones have been taken down. Like, this H2 mod didn't even get off the ground. They didn't even launch.
Well, like,
because that was
what's frustrating to me too is like, give this to them 6 months ago when you see the YouTube video. they've been
Sure.
posting YouTube videos about this for legitimately almost a year. They've been working on it for a year. And it's like, okay, you guys know you're probably going to do that. Can you please just do that so they don't have to do all this work? And I think as soon as they had creators go in and upload video, my YouTube video covering MWR Remastered or Modern Warfare 2 is a 1 out of 10, like by far. So it's like, I just find that very, very sad. I think sad's a good word.
So I think one of the theories about why they're doing this is like a lot of the games and clients that are getting a C&D are because of the Microsoft acquisition. Like a lot of people think they're going to put all of these older Call of Duties on Game Pass. Um, but the problem is like actually just watched a video last night about these older Call of Duty games. Literally, pretty much none of the older Call of Duty games are safe to play at all.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
problem. Is like you like maybe could be borderline illegal to still be selling these older Call of Duty games at full price on Steam when they are literal security risks. I remember like like this is relevant to me. Like I remember like when Dark Souls 3 came out on PC, they had the exact same problem. They took all of the servers of every Dark Souls game offline for 6 months to fix this. But like Call of Duty would never take itself down for 6 months. That would just be like unheard of. But they had to do that in order to fix potential like malware being put onto your computer, etc. The problem is there's just no safe way to play these older games at the moment, and
Well,
all of our safe alternatives are being taken down.
well, and my thing is too, you're the one who told me about the Black Ops 3 thing. I was about to boot up, play, like I'm a sweat, and I didn't know that. So it's like, are you giving alerts to people saying like, hey, this is not working, so please don't buy
It
it.
legally should be disclosed on Steam at this point. Like, maybe the older games should be removed off the store, but if nothing else, they need to come with a big red tag that say this this game is a literal security risk because we literally safely cannot play them. And especially for people like you and I who like are streamers and content creators, we are extra targeted on these games.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we for sure can't play them. So I don't know if the reason they're taking these ones down is because they plan to add things to Game Pass at some point. But if that's the case, then like tell us, Like I don't know.
I
I
just
guess my curiosity is why all these are taken down, but plutonium is still standing. Once again, thank God, because plutonium's amazing.
Yeah,
And
it
they should,
is. It's just
but
that's just frustrating to me. Like, and I get it from a publisher standpoint and all that. I think that is not right. I don't know, man.
they're on top of it, man. It's like also very bad timing though. I like
That could
SM2
be
got
that
taken
could be
down.
part of it too. Is it because of the Black Ops launch that it had so much steam? What if they delayed it for that January, February lull where, hey boys, we're dropping this. We just want to do it for fun. Like,
I
would
don't
it have
know.
been approached different?
I'm not sure. I also tend to think that if they had just let H2 flourish, then that would in turn just revitalize interest in Call of Duty more broadly. Like I actually think it would be beneficial in the long run for Black Ops 6 to just have like the Call of Duty community thriving again. Um that's my opinion anyway. I don't have any numbers to back that up, but I would suspect that allowing these community projects to flourish, it would be better for the overall brand of Call of Duty as it were. I don't know if that's even the reason.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but yeah, the fact that all of these like fan-made clients have been nuked gives us no real safe haven to play them on, and without any alternatives on like Game Pass or something, or if Microsoft is going to deal with this, there's no way to play anything. And that's like for me, that's the unfortunate thing is like, I haven't been streaming very much like in a long time, but one of the big reasons for that is like I can't stream. Like
Yeah.
there's not a lot I could
Yeah.
play. At least safely. I can't even load up like zombies just by myself, that puts me at risk too. Um, so that sucks. And I Activision is on top of it with taking things down. This is not related to the clients, but I don't know if you saw, like, also, I would not recommend going out of your way to look for these, but the all of the Black Ops 6 campaign cutscenes got leaked. I don't know if you saw
Yeah.
that.
Oh, I did not. I saw it, but I did not watch it.
Yeah, me the same. I saw that it happened. I did not watch the cutscenes. Um, I guess they leaked without audio, so I guess if there's a silver lining there, I don't know. But yeah, all the campaign cutscenes leaked. Now, to be fair, Activision has been pretty good about taking them down. I haven't seen them very much anymore, but still, it's like, bro, I also can't believe that people have gotten jailbroken PS4s
That is
that were
wild.
able to download BO6 like 3 months in advance.
Yeah, that is I don't know. I'm just reading all the comments. There's not one person being like, good move, Activision. You know what I mean? And here's the thing. I'm gonna say it because I know you might want to hold off, but just because I get him, I just got invited to COD Next. We need to talk about that. Okay. We got the COD Next invite. We're gonna be there. I still don't think it should allow us to be like nerfed in talking about some of this stuff.
No, sure.
Like,
yeah,
I
agree.
I totally disagree with this play by them, and I definitely think they should have done it sooner if they were going to do it.
Yeah,
But
the day before the launch is foul.
That's foul. That's foul. And it's like, I know it's not the people that we talk to. It's not the people that invite us to this stuff. It's a higher up chain.
Yeah.
That is doing this, but it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, getting invited to an event, while I'm insanely appreciative of that, that doesn't mean I'm not going to sit here and look at this situation and be like, yeah, well done. That was the right move. I just don't think it was.
Yeah.
I don't think the whole, where it falls for me is like, I don't think taking away safe alternatives for people to play Call of Duty on
Right.
does anybody any good, because now I'm just not going to play Call of Duty. Like,
yeah, well, as you just said, I just saw a tweet. Make sure you get your Steam refund. I mean, because here's the thing. You go to play COD 4 Remastered, you can't do it. Have you seen the issue with COD 4 Remastered? There's like a shader issue, so every time you boot up COD 4 Remastered on PC, the game crashes, and it's like, oh man, are you gonna fix it or no? So I don't know how to get refunds. Rough. I don't know how to do it. I got to figure out how to do it later, I guess.
I got you. I'll help you out with that.
Yeah. But anyway, man, that was breaking news. I think, dude, I actually, let me just talk about this too. I got to play it early. They hit me up and sent me an early copy, and I bought Modern Warfare Remastered. They were doing it all the right way. Like, you had to buy Modern Warfare Remastered. You couldn't like pirate a copy or play it without it. Like, they were doing it the way it was like, there's no holes, I guess, fit through or whatever. And I was like, well, that's a good. I think that's good. And then obviously it doesn't matter even if you do it this way. It's like, it is what it is.
I not sure where it goes from here. I don't know if the people that were making SM2 were also making H2. Like, I am not certain if there's going to be more clients that are available. Like, as far as I'm aware, there are 2 right now that are playable. There's like, I believe it's called Alterware and Plutonium. Those are the only ones that are like safe to play. But yeah, that's not a decision I think I agree with at all.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, even Ali A's commenting. A dude that hasn't been in Call of Duty for years, he just replied with a frowny face. It's just, it's tough. That kind of took me away from the Black Ops 6 conversation. I'm not going to lie. Because, dude, I was so excited. Like, I almost feel like I need to make a video about this. But I guess my video is right now.
I'll probably end up making a video. Maybe. We'll see. I might end up making a video about it. But it took the wind out of my sails a little bit, because it's like, but that's exactly what I was telling you is, I think, letting this project flourish and doing it the right way legally, and, making sure that people have to buy a game before they get this mod, so they can't just circumvent it. is the right way to go about it, and that just gets more people interested in talking about Call of Duty. I don't think that's gonna like take away from BO6. I think they mutually just benefit each other.
Yeah.
That may not even be the reason at all they took it down. I don't know. But that's the thing is I would love my the thing that's bothering me is like I need a rationale or I need an explanation. Okay, Activision, you took this down, but why? What's the reason? Are they not like complying legally with certain things? Are
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
making it so that, people don't have to buy the game, like is it a piracy issue? Like I just want to know why. If I can get an explanation why, maybe I will be able to understand it. But
Yeah.
right now I just don't, and I'm like that was a bad decision.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm scrolling the timeline like it's breaking news. It's just crazy. But yeah. Yeah. They waited till the Steam deal was over. Everybody's saying good timing, get a bunch of
Well,
sales and then. But I mean, here's the best thing about Steam.
everybody's gonna get the refund.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody should get their refund. It should be good. But
Hmm.
it's just very sad because like I said, being able to grind both of those games would have been such a great year for COD. Because to me, I think back of the Infinite Warfare day where I had COD 4 as well, and I didn't really like Infinite Warfare during the time because I was just burnt out on jetpacks, but it was so nice to be able to bounce back and forth with them
Sure.
just because it was
Yeah.
like, all right. And I know it's not COD, like they don't own this thing, but I mean, my goodness, if it got popular, you'd have all these people buying COD 4 remastered. You'd be getting $40 in sales, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40.
And
So
it's just people interested in Call of Duty again. Like it was the same thing for me with Infinite Warfare being out. I was kind of with you, like but more from a zombies perspective. Like I liked IW Zombies, but during that time, Zombies Chronicles had like freshly come out too, and I just had this other thing to play that and having these two alternatives was like really healthy.
yeah,
And
yeah.
um, I just don't really see any positives of taking this down. Like I don't know if we ever got down to the exact reason why SM2 was C-indeed, but
See, but
I
wasn't SM2 like their own, like they were using their own software and stuff?
I genuinely don't know the specifics on that. That may have been like a situation where like yeah, they were just circumventing like people having to buy Call of Duty, which is not right. Um but in this case, as far as I'm aware, yeah, you still did have to buy Modern Warfare Remastered on Steam to play this. So
Yeah.
they're doing everything right legally. So I don't really get it. I mean, maybe I don't have all the details, but as far as I see it, I don't see any clear reason. That's upsetting.
Yeah. Anyway, so that threw me off on all the podcasts that we were doing, but the podcast was supposed to be a lot about Black Ops 6 until that tweet came out.
We'll have to just retitle this.
Yeah, this one's getting retitled for sure. They shut down MW2 Remastered.
The only alternative it looks like that you can play the original Modern Warfare 2 on is that, and I don't even know if it has it, but Ultraware, I think. That's the only like one that I believe still has it. Because just a PSA, do not play this game on Steam.
Yeah.
Do anything but that. It is not safe at all. So I don't know.
Anyway, where should we go from here? I guess we can talk about. Let's go back to Black Ops 6 for just a second. I guess does that work? I mean,
Well, we could talk about COD next.
Yeah, that's what I was literally gonna say. Like, I got the invite, guys. Everybody, calm down. I know a lot of you guys were upset. Listen, I was the most upset. Let's be real. But at the final hour, Tdawg Smitty gets the invite. By the way, this is like an hour from my house, so I'm very happy. I get to drive in. I get to relax. I get to leave the same day and be home in an hour. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I hope I made you a little jealous by saying that.
That's pretty good, man. I got about a 2-hour flight, so I'm not sweating.
No, you're not. You're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. But yeah, COD Next should be interesting. The thing that I'm looking forward to most is the fact that we'll be getting to play Liberty Falls. Because I played Terminus and I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to play more at home. But I'm very interested in Liberty Falls. based on what they've shown us.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're gonna get to play it for longer than we got to play Terminus. I don't know like what the situation is on that, but I can't wait to like show off that map too and just see what it has to offer. That actually seems to be their more secretive map, which
Yeah.
I thought was Terminus was going to be instead.
Are we
And then of
playing
course
zombies at COD Next?
we are, yeah.
Which one do you know?
Like which map?
Yeah.
Yeah, Liberty Falls. That's what
So
we.
you guys played the other one, and we're
Yeah,
gonna be playing Liberty Falls.
correct. I don't know if we'll also be playing Terminus somehow. I doubt it.
So do we all just
But
load into a zombies match by ourselves? You think during COD Next?
it'll probably be teams.
Okay.
It'll probably be like squads of 4, but yeah, we'll be playing Liberty Falls there for sure. I know that. And then I believe that's it when it comes to zombies. I have no clue about like Warzone or anything like that. Of course, we'll be playing multiplayer. And I'm not even sure like what the deal is with Warzone this year. Like, I don't know if you know any more about that. Like, they've been very hush hush. I'm not really even in that world as much, but
Yeah.
like they were
I'm out of
pushing
that world
Warzone.
too.
They were pushing Warzone heavy hard for MW3. Like that was practically the whole event. But I haven't heard a peep about Warzone with BO6, which again, as someone who doesn't really play Warzone, I'm fine with that because I would rather play zombies anyhow. We did not play zombies at COD Next for MW3, but we will be playing it for BO6. So yeah, I'm excited to get my hands on that.
Yeah, I know because of all the leaks, they're going to be showing Warzone. They're going to be showing a little bit more than they probably originally intended to, which I still don't know how that happened. I am shocked by that, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm excited to play the game. Like, I'm just so excited to play something new and different. Like I said about MW3, it's a solid game, but I just feel like it literally was MW2 with a added slide and added movement. Yeah. And again, everything just felt very similar. It was MW2 maps. We've already seen those, played those a million times. So Sledgehammer did a great job, but it's like they had just an uphill battle to climb. I'm just excited for new maps, new guns, new movement. It's like new campaign. And I need it so bad because I'm just tired of the same old, to be honest.
Did you get the big book invite for COD Next?
I did not actually, but I am gonna shout out Shanice. She sent me a DM this morning and said you are getting a book. So
nice.
So shout out to Shanice if you watch this podcast. I am getting a book at some point. I don't know when, but it's coming.
That's super cool, man. I love that. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how quickly it's coming up. We'll be at COD Next in like 2 weeks.
Oh, baby.
So, I mean, and then right after that, we're into the game. Like, that's crazy. And then before you know it, we'll be talking about the next game.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to really focusing on BO6, man. I think we're gonna get a lot of answers covered at COD Next. I think people are gonna like what they see. The only thing I've not played is the campaign. I mean, I've seen 2 campaign missions already, and then I've played MP at Treyarch. I played Zombies. So I've pretty much at least played at least a surface level portion of the whole game.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy what I played. Significantly more than I have in many, many years.
Yeah.
It is virtually all of my critiques and complaints about Cold War, more or less, were addressed in this game, and they seem to have taken a lot of steps forward in terms of adding new things to this game as well. It feels good to have round-based zombies back. Let me just say that, fellas. Like, it's been too long.
It feels so good.
That's a W for me.
I just got so sidetracked by that H2M news. I'm just
yeah.
I'm like a zombie all of a sudden. I can't figure out what to talk about. Anyway, yeah, I mean,
We just wanted to do a podcast and
we need to get back into the swing of things. Like Chop said earlier, we're gonna get back in the weekly grind. We're gonna do one at COD Next as well, which I'm really excited for. I cannot wait to do that, man.
We should.
I've always wanted to do that, like at the event, and I always saw like Swag do it and stuff like that. I'm like, why am I not doing that?
Yeah.
I'm really gonna try to be prepared this COD next of like, okay, what do we need to get? We need to get the podcast, we need to get a short, we need to get this, and not just walk into COD next and just be like, just looking around like, wow, this is so cool. Like the first 2 years, I was almost like mesmerized by the whole thing, and it's like, oh, no, you got a job to do here. You got to like actually go get some content done. So I'm very, very excited to go. But I
Me
think
too, man.
that was we're almost at an hour, so I think that's a good start to get us back into the swing of things. And we talked
Yeah.
about some good stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, well, no, we appreciate you guys listening again. Sorry for the slightly longer wait than usual, but we'll be back in the groove. We have some guests that will be lined up, and then of course the podcast at COD Next, and plenty more stuff during when BO6 is actually out. I think we'll have a lot to talk about as
Yeah.
far as like how the game's developing and everything. So I'm looking forward to that too. Yeah, big sad about the H2M news a little bit. That's not good, but we had so much to cover that this kind of ended up being a conglomerate of all these
Yeah.
things. So I promise we will have more focused episodes in the future. But
Yes.
we just
Yes.
wanted to check back in and say what's up to y'all, and we appreciate you guys watching.
Well, everybody, thank you. That concludes this episode. Make sure you follow us on social media and make sure you sub to our personal YouTubes because we'll be live during the event. If you want to see different POVs, make sure you are leaving a 5-star on Apple and Spotify. We've broken 205 stars on Spotify, even though we haven't been uploading in a couple weeks. So that's pretty cool. Make sure you like this video. We are going to put this up. It's 4:00 p.m. This is going up right now. So if you're listening to it and made it this far, this is probably the quickest we've ever uploaded a podcast. So if you can comment something down below, like rest in peace, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. We know you made it till the end. So thank you.
My boy.
Rest in peace. Thank you all for watching. And we will see you next episode.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.